Stadium for the start of Week 11, officially the halfway point of this 21-week regular season, with the Red Blacks and the Stampeders meeting for the second time in the last 3 weeks. The big story, Lapo, coming in, of course, the change at quarterback with the injury to Drew Brown. Jeremiah Masoli getting his first start in over a year, really his second start in over 2 years.
Yeah, and I know everybody watching this broadcast who has coached, worked with Jeremiah Masoli, they are happy to see this football player, after 2 years of terrible injuries, getting an opportunity to step back on the football field, because he's such a great ambassador for our league. Speaking of consistency, I want to talk about this guy, consistent. 36 straight starts today for the Calgary Stampeders. That puts him in third most starts, with a couple of guys we may know, Henry Burris, Doug Flutie. He's hoping to be consistent to get their fifth straight win, Rod.
Dave Dickinson, Lapo, wants consistency. His 8th season as their head coach, 4-5, and really alternating wins and losses lately. And Bob Dice's team, second in the East at 5-2-1, with that one being a tie last week and just a bizarre finish against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. So looking to get back in the win column. Both of these teams are. There's Peyton Logan back there with Kylan Hill to get it started. The Red Blacks won the toss, they deferred, so Calgary gets the ball first. And Peyton Logan on the return with flags coming out. He's been more involved in the offense the last few weeks as well. But a flag on that opening play as Logan gets it up across the Calgary 40.
Yeah, Peyton Logan
during the return
is still going to get some carries today, but they're also going to make sure he does returns. And then let's go talk about a little bit about Jake Mayer. The biggest thing for Jake here is he's talked about making sure that, hey, we got to do things that win football games when we're on, at home. We seem to protect the ball better. We seem to get more first downs. We got to make sure we're playing our best consistent football. And that's the biggest thing for this team, is they cannot be put in second and long situations. That's where they have struggled. They struggled mightily against the Ottawa Red Blacks a couple weeks ago. Ottawa was able to get a pass rush early and often.
So here we go at the 20. Mayer threw for 373, his highest total. That was last week against Toronto, and they hand off. And the ball comes out right away on that carry by Logan. It gets loose, and the Red Blacks have it. First play from scrimmage, and looking like Ottawa football here as they continue to fight over it. This is a start the Red Blacks could certainly use, trying to win a game on the road here in Calgary with Frankie Griffin, the one who comes up with it.
You just don't want, at the start of the game, one of the things, just that simple, put the ball right on the inside, just a nice, easy run inside. They get a good block at the point of attack, but Malden gets involved. And between Malden and Santos Knox, that ball gets knocked out. Okay, looks like Malden's the one who caused the strip, creates the opportunity. Now there's a really short field for the Red Blacks. This is just what we talked about. You don't want to start with the turnovers to start the game.
And Jeremiah Masoli comes on. His first action since July the 8th, 2023. Play action fake, and he's throwing and completing it too. And that is caught by the fullback, Anthony Gosselin, on that first down play.
Yeah, Jeremiah's time in this league has been tremendous. One thing about Jeremiah, a lot of people don't have this understanding of it. It's like he is a champion in the league because there's so many people in the United States. You always talk about people like down, hey, who's your quarterback? When you mention Jeremiah Masoli, everybody knows that name for what he did at Oregon and all the things he did at the college level. He's been a great ambassador for us, an outstanding player.
Gosselin picks up 5. It's a 2nd and 5 now. Masoli and the Red Blacks already threatening early in this game, and he has time. Chasing him down is Julian Hauser, and just as he was getting him, he completes that one to Braylon Addison. It ends up being a loss of a couple of yards. His furthest advancement was getting it back to the 20, but nearly sacked was Masoli as Hauser was coming in hard.
Yeah, just good pass rush. You're going to see people drop out in zones, playing zone coverage here on a 2nd and long. Struggling to find anybody open as the protection. Hauser gets through the line of scrimmage, so he forces the easy checkdowns. Good scenario. Don't force anything. Get yourself an opportunity for a nice field goal. So
Lewis Ward comes into this game. Bizarre game for him last week against the Riders. He was 5 for 7. The 2 that missed, well, they weren't misses. They were blocked by Saskatchewan. And that kind of night that ended in a 22-22 tie. He was a big part of the offense and looking to get Ottawa on the board here first for points off a turnover. Richie Leone puts it down. Lewis Ward puts it through. And after that fumble in the first play from scrimmage by the Calgary Stampeders, Ottawa does take advantage. So Jake Maier's run one play, coming back on Damson, a 3-0 hole after running a play, and it was a fumble that led to an Ottawa field goal. So here goes Maier again, starting up at their 40 this time, handing off to Kylan Hill, a newcomer to the backfield of the Stampeders, and a good carry too against his old team. Technically, he was in the Red Blacks in training camp, and he played a bit in preseason, and then he was let go and picked up by the Stamps.
What the players love about Hill is his speed. They're going to block down on the edge and give him an opportunity to get around the defense. When you have a fast running back, what do? You block down, separate the defense, try to get the ball on the perimeter. Yeah, Hill's going to get a lot of carries tonight. Talking to the coaches, Stefan Logan might get some, but Hill will get a majority of the carries.
This really is his CFL debut. He played in the preseason as mentioned, but first regular season action. And he gets the ball again. Had the big game before, the big gain, but that time lost yardage as Ottawa meets him. And let's take a look at that Calgary Stampeder offense.
Raheem Brown, second-year player from the University of Alberta. Second start ever for him at center, going in for Josh McEwen. And Josh Coker drops back in with the release of Trevon Tate. Jalen Philpott should get a lot more playing time with Cam Eccles going to the PR. Ishmael Hyman and him are going to share some of those responsibilities throughout the course of the game, so we'll keep an eye on that.
2nd and 12 after the loss of 2 on that carry by Kylan Hill. Jake Maier throwing, short one for Logan in behind the 50, and Adarius Pickett. Well, he had him. Logan got by for a little while now, but we got looks like a face mask call coming up against the Red Blacks.
This is what happened last game. There was a lot of second and long situations for the Calgary Stampeders versus Ottawa.
Ottawa, number 6, 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
And, you know, they just can't live in the second and extra world. They have to check balls down. You know, you just got to be careful here. Pick with the penalty here on the face mask. Keeps this drive alive. Pickett, tremendous football player.
Ottawa's defense did a terrific job against the Stampeders 3 weeks ago at TD Place. They had only 3 points in the first half. The game ended 33-6. Worst loss by Calgary of their 5 this season. 1st and 10 though at the Ottawa 39. Down by 3, handing off, and it's back to Logan this time. He'll get his touches, as Lapo alluded to, along with Kylan Hill. And late flag coming out as well after Hill was taken down.
And you can see the MO for these guys. Let's
take a look at that Ottawa defense here.
Bryce Carter tied for first on the team in sacks. This is a relentless effort player. Watch him if you want to see defensive linemen play for effort. Darius Pickett, the Red Blacks coaches call him the coach on the field. I call him a great football player. Fouls, and Brandon Dandridge comes back. Should be his first game all season. This should help this defense create takeaways, Rod. He had 5 interceptions last year, 2 pick sixes, one of them actually here in Calgary last season.
Offsetting fouls, Michael Wakefield with 1 flag for Ottawa. So no difference there, as it is a 2nd down and a 7 yards to go after that 3-yard pickup by Peyton Logan. Stampeders offense are running the ball a lot here early on in this game, and within the field goal range already of Rene Paredes to tie it, looking for more, looking deep, down to the right to the end zone. Oh, nearly a touchdown. Ish Hyman, a flag comes out. The coverage there by Brandon Dandridge, and this is Dandridge's first game of the season, coming back, and a big play looming here with that penalty flag.
Pass interference, Ottawa, number 37.
You put a receiver in a one-on-one situation on the outside. Brandon Dandridge, good clean release, good opportunity. Brandon Dandridge just can't get that left hand in there. Hyman is on the roster because he's got great speed. That's why they took Cam Eccles off. They felt that Hyman can give them that deep threat they're looking for, and they want to take more opportunities for shot plays. Easy opportunity here to go quarterback sneak, get their first touchdown.
So a big PI going Calgary's way. Tommy Stevenson to take it home. He's a short yardage QB, and he gets the Calgary touchdown. Touchdown number 6 on the season for their short yardage quarterback, Tommy Stevens. And just like that, a big penalty. Brandon Dandridge, pass interference on Ishmael Hyman. And quick 6 can start running. Stampeders have the lead.
Yeah, the face mask penalty is really what obviously hurt Ottawa REDBLACKS defense. They had him on a second extra situation. They had him off the field, but a couple of first downs. And then the second penalty puts the ball at the 1 yard line. That's just a brutal penalty when that happens in the end zone. It's going to put you at 95% of the time scoring touchdowns. So good by Jake Maier. You can tell what they're trying to do, though, Rod. They want to establish the run. They want to put themselves in manageable second medium situations.
But you're right about the penalties, though. The face mask and then the pass interference. Working down the field quickly, the point after by the veteran Rene Paredes. So now 7 on the board. And things looking a little better for Dave Dickinson's squad after that turnover. Put them down 3. Touchdown, Tommy. Here's 7-3 the score. The Stampeders answer back with a touchdown. Tommy Stevens gets it. You get down around the 1 yard line. It's number 15's turn, and he does it for the 6th time this season, taking that one in. So Darius Pickett back with Devontae Dedman for the return now. Standing about the goal line for Rene Paredes. Ottawa to get the ball back. And on the return by Dedman. 30, 35, up to about the 37 before he is taken down. So back comes Jeremiah Masoli, whose career highs and lows, it actually started with Hamilton. His first ever start was here in Calgary when the Ticats were here and working one there to Speedy B. Brandon Banks. But 2018, his best year, he had over 5,000 yards passing. He was the East nominee for the most outstanding player. And 2019, having a good season, but his season ended early with an injury. And then from there on, 2022 and 23, short seasons because of the injuries, and a carry there. Rock Armstead on first down as we look at that Ottawa offense.
Eric Starzal, a third-year player from Guelph. He's going to get the start at center. Enjoyed working with him in 2022. Really good kid. Really good football player. Dominic Rhymes, the last 4 games, 20 catches, 331 yards. Really being utilized in this offense more, Rod, in the last couple weeks.
Good carry by Reichel Armstead. Lambo on first down. Gets 7. It's a 2nd and 3 at the Ottawa 44. Masoli quickly throwing to the right, and it falls short of the intended target. That's Dominic Rhymes. So a 3rd down coming up here for the REDBLACKS.
You know, Jeremiah, one of the things what he just did there, the pass was a little bit off, but I'll tell you, when I had the opportunity to work with him, I've never seen a guy who could pick up the ball without the laces and throw the ball anywhere on the field. The width of the field, no problem. Like, he's got an amazing ability to just get it without the laces and throw the ball accurately. And, you know, just he could stretch the whole field. He could recognize coverage. Just an intelligent football player.
You coached his early stint with the REDBLACKS that ended early in 2022 with an injury against the Saskatchewan Roughriders back in July of that year. So on 3rd down, the REDBLACKS punt. Richie Leone does it, and Logan, he was in the grass, tried to get away, but couldn't quite get up to the 15. There's Bob Dice, head coach of the Ottawa REDBLACKS, after a bizarre game against Saskatchewan last week. That's what happened at TD Place. Right at the end, this is in overtime, Dustin Crum intentionally fumbling it back because at that point it looked like they were out of field goal range to tie it, and it looked like the Riders had won the game, but the command center ruled that that was roughing the passer, so they got another chance. Lewis Ward got the kick. It ended up in a 22-22 tie, and you know, the command center has thought a lot about that, and I don't think in the same scenario you'll see that happen again.
Yeah, the CFL League office talked to us this week, and they had 3 points. They want a renewed focus on clear and obvious PI.
Passing and first down, and it's Ish Hyman who has it there as he gets it down around the 20.
And, you know, back to that point, you know, without the use of slow motion, that's one of the things I said, hey, if we have to use slow motion to slow down and recognize PI, we don't want to use that call. And for the penalties that the command center can insert themselves, like that roughing the passer last week, it better be clear, evidence, and obvious. And the biggest thing last couple weeks have been some fumbles, Rod, where, you know, they had a quick whistle, and they really stressing to the officials, if you have to know the player's down before you put a whistle and start stopping the play.
That said, command center changing its approach after last week. That one thrown intended for Clark Barnes, and it falls incomplete. So a quick 2 and out there for Jake Maier and the Calgary Stampeders as Cody Grace will come on.
Jake Maier getting the ball in his hand quickly to the outside. Should be a catch right there, just a little. Puck Barnes didn't see it into his hands. Just went right through, but nice coverage. Good throw. Just got to finish.
Devontae Dedmon had missed 3 games. He came back last week against Saskatchewan, had some big returns. One negated by penalty, another one by a fumble. Dedmon, one of the top returners in the game. And he comes in for this one on the punt by Grace. He gets it at midfield, so Jeremiah Masoli will start another drive in Stampeder territory. He's 2 for 3, so coming back last year, first start, week 5 again, a ruptured Achilles that ended his season. Let's go down to the field and join Farhan Lalji.
Guys, you'll recall that Garrett Marino hit the broken leg and what happened after that, a staph infection and some real life concerns for Masoli, not simply about football. But he said this past injury, the Achilles, was just as significant and difficult to recover from. He said the process was extremely slow, extremely long, and he felt like he'd lost a ton of athleticism. He wound up changing his trainer and really changed his approach to coming back to playing. And now he feels he's got all of that back. And I asked him, did you want to come back and play because you just wanted to leave the game on your own terms, or that you just loved it that much? He said, I absolutely love it. I want to keep playing, and when playing is over, I'm going to coach. I don't want to leave the game.
And Farhan, a big completion, his biggest one in this return game to Jalen Ackland. They were teammates in Hamilton, and they connect in this game tonight as well.
The Red Blacks, this is how they get their deep ball play actions. What do? They do heavy play actions, and they run a crossing route, a deep crosser by Jalen Ackland. He's been great for them. Now they go tempo real quick.
Armstead has a big carry. First down, touchdown. Armstead turned that corner, and he stayed in bounds. And he goes all the way in after a 27-yard pickup. The Red Blacks strike back quickly. Big play to Ackland, and then that toss to Ryquell Armstead, who takes it in for the Ottawa touchdown to retake the lead.
So after a big play, what do you try to do? You've got the ability. You're on the road. Go ahead, call a tempo play. What does that mean? Get up to line of scrimmage quickly and call it. Let me draw right here. You're going to get people blocking down and then coming around the horn. And again, what you're trying to do, get people to go to the right, but the ball's actually spilling to the left. Really nice play by Tommy Condell, offensive coordinator. Getting the ball out in space to the Rock Armstead.
Gets the hammer. And his 3rd touchdown, rushing, as a member of the Ottawa Red Blacks. Lewis Ward the point after. Rock Armstead was kicked out of the game 3 weeks ago against Calgary at TD Place. 2 misconduct fouls, and he was gone before the end of the first half. So making a better story against Calgary so far in this one with that big carry.
If you watch right here, you're going to see action. You're trying to get action going in this direction. My drawing's not working here, so let's talk about this. You're going to have action to the right, but then you flip the ball the other way to the left. That's what's called a wrong way run, where you try to separate the defense. You get a bunch of people going to the right, and then you fake to somebody going to the right, and then you flip it back to the left and create a separation on the defense. And again, always just trying to get speed and space. So Rock Armstead, really good play. You know, and Rock Armstead, you know, last game, 4 carries, 20 yards, but he was removed from the game for two objectionable conduct penalties. And so great to see this. Masoli with the big play action, explosive play, and a touchdown.
A happier memory so far in this one. Masoli to Ackland, and then, hey, it looks like your telestrator's working again.
It's back.
It is.
It's back. We good? All right. We're back.
Show me Ryquell Armstead's face again. Let's see. But the Rock gets the touchdown, and it's a 3-point lead restored for the Red Blacks. Stampeders get the ball.
I got to be able to draw, Rod.
You can, and draw very well. And then throwing it down. Jake Mayer comes on. Jake Mayer, who it was about 2 years ago that he took over the starting job from Bo Levi Mitchell. This is his 2nd full season, and you know the oddity for the Stampeders, how good they are at home. And although these games have been close both ways, but 4-0 there, and you look at the numbers, Lapo, not that great a separation except for the interceptions.
Yeah, the one thing Dave Dickens talked about, he's like, we've really only had one blowout loss. That was Ottawa a couple weeks ago. Every other game they've been in, but as you just said, you can't turn the ball over like they have on the road, be in a position to win games.
From the Calgary 35, 1st and 10, 10-7 game Ottawa. That is caught. Reggie Begelton, who had a big day last week in Toronto, and the Stampeders' top receiver gets it up across the 50 and a first down for Calgary.
Real simple RPO here by Reggie Begelton. You're going to just see him. He's going to go up and break out. They're going to read the pressure off the edge. He's going to replace the pressure and be right there for the throw. So as the Red Blacks blitz off the edge, you have an available player right for the quarterback. So as you can see, it's 62 straight games with a catch.
Yeah, he had 8 catches, 104 yards last week against the Argos. Throwing again. That's Jalen Philpott with his first catch. And one of those catches by Begelton, Lapo, did he ever earn that yardage when he caught it around the 30? And look at what he did after that. This is a sample of his work in the day.
He makes, he has a big catch, 104 yards last week, but he made 3 people miss on this play run, and then he carried about 4 of them all the way to the 2-yard line. It's amazing. Looked like old school Mark Bavaro of the New York Giants or something like that.
It really did, and yeah, like he was carrying the entire Argo defense by the looks of things. Lots of blue on his back, and he kept going, and that helped set up a Calgary touchdown in their loss, ultimately, to the Toronto Argonauts last week. From the Ottawa 47 now. That's off to Clark Barnes, and he misses the first coming in. That was Elijah McGee, but he's shortly after wrapped up for not much of a pickup there, maybe half a yard for the Stamps.
Yeah, and this is where the Stamps struggled last game against the Red Blacks. The Red Blacks put them in a lot of second and longs. They really had trouble converting. And what the Red Blacks do really good on defense is they are really good with a 4-man pass rush. And what does that mean? That means you can put everybody else in coverage. And once you can do that, and you can get pressure with 4 men. That's what Dave Dickens talked about. Like last game, they were able to rush the passer with only 4 people. We've got to make sure we stay out of these long yard situations.
Jake Mayers completed 5 passes to 5 different receivers. This is a 2nd and 9 at the Ottawa 46. Flags out. Deep right again. It is caught. Touchdown, Calgary. Wait and see what the flag is, but the new receiver, Ishmael Hyman. Last time he drew a pass interference to set up a touchdown, and that time he catches it and he scores it himself.
A couple of things to like. The hard count.
Offside, Ottawa, number 96. The penalty is declined. Touchdown.
A couple of things to like. That hard count gives you, one, a free play, but also gives you an opportunity to slow the pass rush down. And then the hardest part of this defense is very good, but the corners in this defense are putting a lot of one-on-one situations, and that's what you're going to see right here. You got to get your eyes, make sure you can keep running with them. McGee.
The previous play is being automatically reviewed by command center.
Okay, so this could go to the 1-yard line, but McGee, you know, just sometimes you got to understand, you got to back up. You can't just keep your eyes in the backfield. So he got run by here. Hyman's got speed. This is why they wanted him on the roster, to get a guy who can run by people and make plays. Interesting thing about the corners, with Brandon Dandridge this week and McGee, that was their starting corners coming out of training camp, and now they get this opportunity with these guys, but they're really attacking these 2 corners. I think, what do you think,
Rod? Previous play is being automatically reviewed by command center.
It looks to me like he's clearly down before the ball crosses the line. And I think you're right. I think this is going to be down at the 1 to set up a 1st and goal Calgary. But regardless, what a story. Ish Hyman, playing in his 3rd game, first year at a James Madison, drew the pass interference that led to Calgary's first touchdown, has them knocking on the door now. We believe. Here's the call.
After review, the receiver was down at the 1-yard line. It'll be first down, Calgary.
No touchdown, but still looks like a pretty good find for the Calgary Stampeders. Ishmael Hyman.
Yeah, also from same school as Bryce Carter, the defensive end from JMU, also for the Red Blacks. They played together. And again, now this is no different than the PI in the end zone. Your scoring percentage here at the 1-yard line should be 99%. Just get your lineman going forward, get Tommy Stevens going forward, and get your touchdown. Don't do anything crazy here at the 1-yard line, 1st and goal, Rod. Just go forward because they line up a yard off the line of scrimmage.
No big mystery as to what's going to happen
really
here
hard.
with
Not
touchdown
really
Tommy looking to add to his resume here. And number 2 in the game, and he looks like he breaks the play, and he does indeed. Touchdown, Calgary, and Tommy Stevens has another one, and that's number 7 on the season for number 15 in red and white. So these offenses aren't only finding the end zone, they're doing it fast. Short drives working their way down the field.
Good push by the O-line. Really, the biggest thing in this on these short yards, you got to get low, and you got to make sure any of those jumping linebackers, you got to get, Tommy's got to get underneath them. So nice execution for both teams. Got some nice drives.
Another big short yardage quarterback too helps as well.
That one feels guilty. That one feels guilty.
Actually had a carry last
I feel bad about that one.
He did.
Yeah.
They were hurting at running back, and he got a chance line up as a running back for a carry against the Argos. Point after Rene Paredes. So back and forth they go. Calgary at the touchdown. Ottawa answered back with a touchdown, and there's Stevens. He has 2. Stampeders lead again.
To see is this player right here. You're going to get a go route and a guy going out in the flat. And what happens a lot of times is that player, he thinks the out route's going to be thrown. He's looking into the backfield. So you tell the quarterback, the lower that corner is, get your eyes seeing that corner. The lower he is, more think about taking the downfield shot. So a couple of good opportunities. Like I said, this defense for the Red Blacks is outstanding, but they do put their corners in a lot of, they play some coverages that put their corners in man-to-man situations, even within a zone structure.
Big catch, Ishmael Hyman. So now it's Devontae Dedmon. 30, 35, 40. Big return, Dedmon. And back come the Red Blacks. Up around midfield, thanks to the returning ability of number 17. And once again, it looks like Jeremiah Masoli will get to start a possession inside Stampeder territory.
Yeah, and Devontae Dedmon's first in the Canadian Football League in kickoff return with 29 yards per return. That's an amazing stat. Also, you know, first in average, well, not first, but average punt return for him is 12 yards. That's a first down on every punt return for him, Rod. That's one thing when I worked with Bob Dice, he always talked about the punt team. You guys get the first down for the offense.
I know you coached him, and in 21, he was explosive then and picked up some touchdowns. He's played 30 games heading into this one with 6 touchdowns. And then on that hitch is Nick Mardner. The Red Blacks rookie receiver has that catch. Another completion for Jeremiah Masoli.
Mike Rose, I'm looking forward to him in the front. Tied for the first on the team with 3 sacks. His ability to stop the run is going to be crucial today. We just saw Cam Judge making a tackle. He is a sideline-to-sideline effort player. And DeMario Houston, second in the CFL with 4 interceptions. And that's amazing stat because he's missed 4 games. Masoli better keep an eye on him tonight.
Masoli is 4 for 5 for 33 yards, 27 and 1 pass last possession to Jalen Atkins, 2nd and 7 now from the 52 of Calgary. That is caught. It's a first down, and it's the first catch for their top receiver in this game, Justin Hardy.
Good vision by Jeremiah Masoli. Cameron Judge, you can see he just expands right out, gives Masoli a chance to throw to the inside post to Justin Hardy. He throws it with a quick speed and anticipation. Great recognition of seeing the linebacker expand, giving me the inside throw.
Just like Jake Mayer, Masoli's first 5 completions to 5 different receivers. Little play action fake and throwing again. Oh, nearly intercepted. Receiver for the Red Blacks had fallen, and a late flag comes out. There was a chance there for Calgary's interceptions leader, 2nd in the CFL, DeMario Houston, to pick up pick number 5.
We'll see what happens.
Accidental pass interference. Ottawa, number 6. 10-yard penalty, first down. Oh, Calgary. Sorry, Calgary, number 6.
I was going to say. Right here, you're going to see a deep comeback. They like to play action, pass a lot, and then throw these. Ackland's just going to go 20 yards and then come right back down his stem. And you see the legs get tangled up there. That's going to draw the 10-yard incidental pass interference. It's great to see Masoli and Ackland throwing together. Masoli and them had a great rhythm in 22 when they were together.
They had it with you in 22, and they certainly had it in their days together in Hamilton. So on the ground, first down. Here comes Rock Armstead again. He's running hard. He is a touchdown in this game, and he picks up another Red Blacks first down. So You had Calgary score in a quick 6-play drive, Ottawa on a 2-play drive, Calgary in a 5-play drive, and here comes Ottawa again.
You want to see in a unicorn? A team under center, right? Jeremiah Masoli under center with just a tight inside zone play with a little speed sweep fake. I love this Rock Armstead. Like, Rock is a tremendous lower body. He gets great yardage, helps this offensive line.
Came in 427 yards rushing, adding to those totals on this night. 1st and 10, Calgary 13, dumping it off to Rock. And Armstead gets knocked down nicely there by Demario Houston coming in. And then he has a little greeting for Micah Awe as they continue to talk it out.
You know, what's hard about this defense is for Calgary defensively, Tommy Condell does a really good job. Offensive coordinator Tommy Condell. When you get a lot of first downs, you're going to see a bunch of different things offensively. You're going to see speed sweeps. You're going to see reverses. That's what happened 2 weeks ago. They had 270 yards on first down. You have to minimize how many first downs the Red Blacks get.
2nd and 9 at the Calgary 12. Jeremiah Masoli under pressure. He steps up, rolling to the right, trying to direct traffic, throws it, end zone. Oh, nearly picked again. Houston got his hands on the ball, but he was heading out of bounds. So that's twice now. And he's frustrated as he slams that ball down. He's used to getting interceptions. He's had a couple of shots tonight.
Calgary doing a good job. They got a 4-man rush, a little twist. Jeremiah has to move, trying to find somebody, trying to make a throw. It shouldn't be going to be out of bounds there. Trying to get Rhymes. It's either going to be out of bounds or it's a catch to Rhymes.
And the last time he thought he had a pick ended up being a penalty, the accidental pass interference. And it's a 4-point difference right now, but Lewis Ward's going to try to cut into that and make it only 1. These offenses moving back and forth and scoring just about every possession. As Ward is 2 for 2 on the night. It's a 14-13 game. Much different from the game against Saskatchewan for Ottawa last week when there was no scoring until the final minute of the first half, and it was 3-3 at the half. We got 27 points on the board so far in a 1-point game. Ottawa to field goal to start. Tommy Stevens took it in. Rock Armstead took it in. And then that Ishmael Hyman setting up another Calgary touch. Stampeders leading the Red Blacks 14-13 as they're just trading it up and down the field. As we say howdy from McMahon Stadium, it's country music night, don't you know, here for this game with the Red Blacks and the Stampeders. So we thought we would pay tribute to that with our favorite hats. And you always have to outdo me. Where'd you come up with an orange hat?
Yorkton, Saskatchewan. Okay. I spoke to their school a few years ago, and they gave me a hat after I spoke. So shout out to Yorkton, Saskatchewan High School. Thank you very much for the hat. Wore it in the airport, Rod.
Yeah,
everything.
you did.
A few looks. People complimented my hat so much.
I want to give a shout out to whoever made a hat that big that it would actually fit my head or come close to it. It's not easy. Country night in Calgary. Stampeders start the second quarter with a 1-point lead. And Kylan Hill, in his first CFL start, first CFL game, as mentioned, played in the preseason with the Red Blacks, got let go, and the Stamps picked him up. Dedrick Mills had been their running back till a few weeks ago. He left the team for personal reasons, and now they've been scrambling to find a steady replacement at running back.
Yeah, and it's interesting, like Kylan had to go through the training camp process with the Red Blacks. They liked him, but, you know, they just felt after Rock Armstead was going to be their starter, you know, they moved on from him, and that's what happens a lot of times. You see a guy who's got some experience, they've already seen, they sign him up again.
Jake Mayer, a couple of touchdown drives. That's Cole Tucker, and his first catch of the game at the 45. He is taken down immediately by the party starter. His first year with the Red Blacks, Darius Pickett.
Well, Darius Pickett's so good. They had him as a deep player. He can rally down, make the tackle, wrap people up. I love everything about this football player. Talking to Alex Suber and Baron Miles about him, you know, what the thing is, they call him the coach on the field. Well, what's interesting is he was a graduate assistant, Rod, at UCLA for a couple of years before he went into the Canadian Football League. So just an intelligent football player. But the best thing, he is third in the Canadian Football League in special teams tackles, too. That's
absolutely
an amazing thing.
So well-rounded. And, yeah, he was a force with the Argos last year, and he is with Ottawa this year. And that punt by Cody Grace chases Devontae Dedmon into the end zone, where he'll give up the point and make it a 2 5-point game. Jeremiah Masoli getting the start because of this. Last week against Saskatchewan, Drew Brown, their new starting quarterback, injured. Miles Brown just rolling in to his leg, and scratch from this one tonight.
Yeah, one of those defensive ends coming around, and again, this is the penalty everyone's been, these are the penalties everyone's been talking about. You can't hit a quarterback below the knees, and you know, the league just saw a lot of injuries. I don't know, this is 10 years ago, and they basically said, hey, listen, you can't go low, you can't speed rush around around an offensive tackle and then go low on the quarterback. But it's great to have a guy with 11 years experience in the league as your backup quarterback.
Masoli in on the toss. Raquel Armstead. Another pickup. Mike Rose says that's enough, and he gets some help to push Armstead right back again, but furthest advancement, and another decent pickup there for Armstead. Well, yeah, long time coming. The number of games, Lapo, and I know this is near and dear to you too. Last year, you were with us. He tried one game. It lasted 16 plays, but he was with you. You were coaching the Red Blacks when he got hurt in Saskatchewan. That vicious hit by Garrett Marino that ended up fracturing his leg, and it was a long recovery. Yeah,
and it's just a horrible thing for our organization, the Red Blacks at the time. There's so many people who are just, you know, so disheartened. One, for him, and two, you know, that we're going to go back to playing younger quarterbacks after he played so well early in the season. And you know, that's the disadvantage of sometimes playing some of the younger guys. And here's the point. Let's talk it. Like, Dustin Crum's done a really good job for this football team with things. But it's interesting, when you have a veteran, he's going to see some of the pictures and know where to throw the football. There's actually a clip last week, and it's great, of Dustin Crum, who's going to be a good player in the league. He goes to throw the football, and
offside,
then as soon as
Ottawa, number 15. 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat second down.
As soon as he sees the pass completed, he gets the completion, but then he points because he gave up the touchdown. And that's what you want. A veteran guy can actually see, oh, I should have thrown it here for the touchdown throws. That's what you're hoping you get from Jeremiah Masoli, more so than some of the younger quarterbacks.
So that pass, another one to Ackland, is negated by a penalty and offside. So it's now back to a 2nd and 10 at the Ottawa 40. Masoli and the Red Blacks trailing by 2. Under pressure. Tries to shuffle it away, and he does to Armstead, who's trying to get away from Micah Awe and make something out of this. Not nearly enough for a first down, but they do pick up a few yards as Masoli, resourceful with the pressure coming in, does manage to shuffle it away and complete it to Rock.
He is a magician in the way he can climb pockets. He can throw the ball with all different arm angles. He's like a baseball player. Be able to just flip the ball around and try to make sure when things break down, can I get it to one of my check down players?
So Peyton Logan is back to receive this punt by Richie Leone. There's Logan. And well placed by Leone. As long as it's inside the 15, which it is, it's not a penalty. It went out in the air. But the Stampeders pinned pretty deep in their zone. Thursday night in Calgary, if you will. 11 out of 21, and the Stampeders already made the turn at 4-5 halfway through their season. The Red Blacks at 5-1 hit the halfway point officially after this game tonight. And a much better season for Ottawa this year, the way it's looking. Those 5 wins. 1st and 10, Jake Mayer handing off. Peyton Logan, good carry left side up across the 20 before he's taken down. And a 2nd and short will be coming up here now for Calgary.
This is what you call an outside zone play, where you reach, everybody's trying to reach, and you're letting the back try to find a crease and then make one cut and run inside. Good push by the offensive line. Good block on the first level linebacker. Good 2nd and short situation.
Country night in Calgary, and this is Tommy Stevens country. Needing a yard, got a couple of touchdowns on the night from that distance, and just trying to get the first down and push it a little further along to about the 22 for the Stampeders.
See if they get this here.
Now that's on 2nd down anyway.
Why do you have all these people around the line of scrimmage, Rod? Because you just want to extend all the different spots a quarterback can go to. That's why the league has gone to so many more tight ends, all the receivers, everybody's close up to the line of scrimmage, so you can extend spots where the quarterback can run. And you don't want the quarterback to take a hit on these short yardage scenarios.
Short yardage was no guarantee last week between the Riders and Red Blacks in Ottawa. Both teams stopped on 3rd down, so he did not get it there. He got a little closer, but this is 3rd down and inches. Stevens in. Let's try that again. Oh, he still didn't get much, but they said he just needed inches. It's been tough sledding here for Tommy Stevens and that Calgary offensive line. The pushback from Ottawa's defensive front.
But really good by the Radim Brown and Christian Nakanu does a really good job of they get a really good job of pushing. He's just got to stay low enough and get underneath. I believe it was Devon Taylor trying to make a shot on him. Should get them the 1st down.
You can see how little they needed Lapo, and they do indeed get it. So it is a 1st down, and that 2nd crack at it by Tommy Stevens. So they've got it up to the 22 of the Stampeders. The 2-point lead for Calgary here in the 2nd quarter at McMahon Stadium. Carlin Hill, Lorenzo Malden, and Michael Wakefield taking him down after that pickup as Calgary is trying to get that running game going, and a pickup of about 4 yards for Carlin Hill.
And that's where they want to live because, you know, Ottawa's defense is 2nd best in the Canadian Football League against completion percentage, only giving up 67%. So you got to make sure you're put yourself in this 2nd and medium scenario so you can run, pass, do whatever you would like to do here.
Call it a gain of 5, 2nd and 5. The Stamps 27. Carlin Hill still at running back. Jake Mayer throwing quickly to the right. And that's Hyman. He's had a big day so far, and he's wrestled out of bounds after a 1st down by Brandon Dandridge.
And what they do defensively for the Red Blacks is what they like to do is they like to force everything outside. They play a coverage where the slots are put in a position where it's called walling, Rod, where the linebackers help out and help cover all these slots, so the ball tends to go on the outside to the wide receivers. Baron Miles did a really good job with this defense. A lot of improvement from 1 year ago, his 1st year as coordinator.
1st and 10. The 35. Mayer just looking to do something with that ball. All that heat, and he dumped it off. It's picked up by Jalen Philpott. And whistle finally blows up to around the 49.
Well, this could be the command center making sure they wait, or the officials making sure they know whether it's a fumble or not, holding the whistle. Let's see what happens.
Is his arm going forward here? Yes.
Yes.
So an incomplete pass. And I guess
ruling on the previous play is an incomplete pass. 2nd down.
so just in case that whistle, Philpott picked it up and started heading away with it. But 2nd and 10 now. Calgary 35.
Yeah, I think that could be certainly the league talked about it this week. Hey, we want to make sure we don't blow a whistle early if it possibly could be a fumble. And again, that's a big one. Is it a forward pass? Is it a fumble?
Well,
you always talk to your players about.
Please reset the clock to 8:11.
You always talk to the players about, hey, listen, if you see a ball that is on the ground, irregardless of the whistle, always play the ball, because the command center could change it based on a fumble or not. So that's why you're always coaching your defense. Anytime the ball's on the ground, whether it's an incomplete, you may think it's an incomplete pass, it could be a forward pass. So recover any loose ball, even if you hear a whistle. So now 2nd and 10. I really think that Ottawa and Baron Miles, go back to that. Greg Marshall's on the staff, new coach on this staff this season, longtime CFL coach. Talking to him this week. He loves the ability of Malden to be able to really dent the defense. Him, Cleon Lang, Mike Wakefield. Tremendous job of making plays at the front.
2nd and 10 now at the 35. There. Little soft toss up in the middle of Markin Michel. His first catch in this game. And he pushes it up to the 45. And it looks like he has enough to move the sticks for the Calgary Stampeders. A 1st down for the Stamps.
Right here, you're going to see him coming down the line of scrimmage. And on 2nd and long, sometimes you run these. Okay, this is a screen pass as you look at it. It is a behind the line of scrimmage pass. Why do you do that? Because everybody's dropping back to pass. You can now block the guys in coverage, and then he can turn it up for a run play. So that's basically a behind the line of scrimmage pass. 1st and 10. Handing off. Peyton Logan, and tackled nicely from behind Aiden John in his 2nd year with the Red Blacks. And coming in and chasing down, he tracked down Logan and takes him down for a loss. Nice move by John here. Frankie Griffin chasing. Good move on the inside by John. Taking Logan down. In his 2nd year out of St. Mary's in Halifax, Aiden John with that tackle. And a 2nd and long coming up now. The pressure's coming, and Darius Pickett got quite the jump. Trying to time it up with the snap of the Calgary football, but...
Offside, Ottawa, number 6. 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
Let's just say the party starter got the party started a little too soon.
Coming off the edge, you're going to see here a little early. I like Calgary going with the hard count, trying to make sure that they slow down this pass rush. You got to do something to help as they're trying to rush 5 and drop everybody else into coverage.
And 70 yards of penalties for Ottawa so far. So got a lot of time left here in the 1st half. 2nd and 6 now. The Stampeder 49 for Jake Mayer. Over the middle and in a crowd too. 3 Red Blacks around Rice and John. The tall receiver 6'7" for Calgary, and can't come down with that.
This is just taking a shot to a big guy with space. I talked about walling linebackers. You can see Frankie Griffin. He's underneath it, and then you have a defender over the top of it. So those are difficult throws to make when you have linebackers who are running underneath. So now if you go high, it's an interception. If you go low, it's an interception. Ryzen John's a big player. That's why I'm sure they wanted to make that shot to him in that spot.
That was a 10-play drive. Took a lot of time off the clock. Ronde Dedman right near the sideline. Gets it up to the 15, about the 18, and runs out of room. So Masoli will come back on. They were trading scoring drives for a while. It settled down a bit. Still a 2-point Calgary lead in the 1st half here at McMahon Stadium. Meeting in a month between the Stampeders and the Red Blacks. Ottawa football now trailing by 2. 5:45 left in the 1st half. Setting up a draw to Reichwell Armstead, who's having himself a half. Had a long run, a 25-yarder for a touchdown. He had 53 before that carry, and picks up more good yardage for a 1st down for Ottawa up across the 35.
Little draw play. You're going to see Hicks as a deep linebacker getting blocked on the outside by Desjardins. Creates a really good crease for the Rock.
5 carries, 72 yards for Armstead so far. Out to the right. Mardner with a 2nd catch. Short one. Trey Roberson taking him down.
This is what I talked about before. Quick 1st down. All of a sudden, what do? They sprint to the field. What does that mean? They move the whole line of scrimmage. They put Jeremiah Masoli out there for a quick throw to the wide side of the field. As they get yardage and 1st downs, more offense comes from this Red Blacks area.
Handing off that time. Armstead's going nowhere. And with that, Ottawa will have to punt it away.
Trying to work this way. On the tight zone to the field. They don't get Cameron Judge as a free player on the outside. Creates the short yardage situation.
5-time All-Star Richie Leone gets it away. Some pressure was coming there by the Stampeders as that one takes a hop, rolls into the end zone. Well, Ottawa had given up a single point. Now it looks like the Red Blacks are going to get one as Peyton Logan goes down and picks it up. And ultimately 1 point on the board for Ottawa off the foot of Richie Leone, who was trying to pin him deep. Old time is on this country night. We say howdy partner, go back to Farhan.
Thanks for the hat, Rod. And as you mentioned, two of the best kickers in the league. Two kickers at different stages of their careers and two with very different approaches. For the 31-year-old Lewis Ward, he is a volume kicker. He begins kicking in early January, and during the season, he kicks a lot. Paredes, meanwhile, he doesn't begin kicking until late March, and in the season, you'll rarely find a practice day where he kicks more than 20 times. Even on game days in the pregame warm-up, maybe about 8 kicks. Earlier in their careers, their coaches didn't ask them to kick much above 50 yards. That has changed now. More is expected of both of these guys, and more, or both of them, believe they can absolutely deliver. They're confident. Their coaches are confident. They also love the rule change from a couple of years ago where the hashes got brought inside. It improved the angle on kicks, and believe it's made an improvement for everybody league-wide.
First of all, I'm jealous because that hat looks better on you. Secondly, we'll say they both said about the hash marks makes a big difference. Now, that said, they've each had long streaks. Paredes used to have the record of 39 games, and Ward broke it in 2018. It's now 69, and that's when the hash marks were further out. Before, Sean White, honorable mention, by the way, who's the most accurate right now, and he's on a 45 field goal streak made. The BC Lions. It's caught by Michel for a first down after that running play by Jalen Philpott. So on that second and long, Michel cashes in as Calgary keeps things moving.
Throw to the wide side of the field. You're going to get a vertical and an out breaking route. The first time they hit the vertical for the touchdown, now once that corner runs out of the way, you've got all that space on the sideline. You can throw it out, lead him to the sideline. Great throw by Jake Mayer, getting his feet aligned to make that throw to the wide side of the field.
This should be the last play before the 3-minute warning. We're under 3 minutes now at 2:48 and counting. Kylan Hill, first CFL game, and has had a few carries as he pushes that one just across the 50. The warning is given. And we've had touchdowns on both sides. Good physical game. Some points on the board as well. And a one-point game. Calgary still leading it.
Bo Farhan, you aren't the only ones who were prepared for country night.
Well, if it isn't John Wayne.
Country? I thought the CTR was for construction.
Get it?
For construction.
Way to go, Jim Barker. Little different twist in country night. And I hear Matty there channeling his inner Duke. I'll tell you, Pilgrim. Here we go, 2nd and 10. Calgary 51 up to midfield and beyond for Jalen Philpott. And a third down is coming up now. Not enough for the first.
Good stop by the Red Blacks. Got him in 2nd and long. Just rally up and make that tackle after 7 yards. Force a punting situation.
So Cody Gray not close enough for Rene Paredes. As good as he's been beyond 50 at 4 for 4, but this would be far too long for that. So Grace is back, standing actually near the 40 for Devontae Dedmon. A game breaker if there ever was one, and Red Blacks could use something like that from him right now. As Grace, the Aussie, sends it off to the left. Dedmon watches it, head down, and take a hop into the end zone. So we're looking at another Rouge aplenty with the red and white of the Stampeders and the Ottawa Red Blacks. Calgary Dinos, U Sports football team. What a great tradition that program has had, and a lot of them in attendance with camps underway and a new U Sports football season about to begin in Canada West for the Calgary Dinos. Vanier Cup champions as recently as 5 years ago in 2019.
Couple of linemen in there, it looks like, Rod. Couple of linemen.
Great program. First and 10, Jeremiah Masoli. As the half gets closer to the end, and a 2-point game again. He finds Rock Armstead, who finds the first down and more up at midfield. Still plenty of time at the clock, just under 2 minutes. 1:52 right now. And a first down, Ottawa.
Quarterbacks, you're never going to go broke if you put money in the bank. What does that mean? If you can't see it downfield, just flip it to your tailback. There should be space because all the linebackers have looked at you looking downfield, and Rock Armstead just so good with the ball in his hands, makes Awe miss for the first down on first down.
9 touches, 94 yards for Rock Armstead in this first half. And that's a first down right at midfield, 136 and counting. And on the toss to the right, it's Armstead. He finds room again. Found a nice opening, and he ran through it, and he picks up another first down on the ground as he gets over 100 yards combined, and he keeps going like this. He might have close to 100 by halftime on the ground.
Yeah, once again, they're trying to get to the perimeter. They're blocking down, pulling somebody around to kick out and give space to Rock Armstead. So they've gotten a couple of these perimeter runs to the tailback that have been very successful to flip the field. Now they're sitting in what I would call the kick zone. They got a 47-yard field goal right now. Got to make sure they don't lose any yards here.
7 carries, 86 yards rushing, and a touchdown back in the first quarter. Armstead, 1st and 10, Calgary 41. And screens it off to Braylon Addison. He has some room after the catch as he is knocked down by the safety Bentley Sanders, but not before another good pickup for a first down as this red-black drive continues, definitely in scoring position now.
One of the best things they did is release out of the backfield. You release Dedmon vertically, Raquel Armstead up the field, and that lifted the linebackers, and then the screen came underneath it to Braylon Addison. More of that 1st and 10 variety from Tommy Condell.
In the Calgary 28, quickly caught Hardy. Beautifully placed and caught by Hardy to get the Red Blacks that much closer. Down just inside the 10, and a 1st and goal is coming up for Ottawa.
Great throw, great location. This is Justin Hardy's favorite route. An out route to the sideline. They run the corner down. Watch that. You have to have awareness as a receiver to have an understanding your spatial awareness. Where am I on the football field? You got to find the ball in the air, and you got to toe tap. And something you work with your receivers all the time, getting that toe tap. You only need one in the Canadian Football League. Great catch and throw by the Red Blacks.
4 plays, 4 first downs, Ottawa. 1st and goal at the Calgary 9. Masoli. End zone. Caught. Was he in? Jalen Acklin, no. Caught the ball and was that close to another Ottawa touchdown. But never did get the feet down. As we see another combination of Masoli to Acklin. That one nearly, but no. 2nd and goal coming up.
You can see Calgary Stampeders trying to bring a blitz to put a one-on-one situation on the outside. Great catch by Acklin, just ran out of space just a little bit. He knew it right away.
And even with that incompletion, Jeremiah Masoli in his first half of football in over a year is 11 for 14 for 107. And Ottawa is threatening again, trying to take the lead into halftime. 42 seconds on the clock. Some pressure. Masoli escapes it and dumps it off. Gets rid of it, and a touchdown, Devontae Dedmon. Masoli reacts and has a touchdown pass to Dedmon, and the Red Blacks go back in front.
Jeremiah Masoli doesn't have the ability to run like he did 10 years ago, but what he does have is the ability to recognize when protection breaks down. I'm going to climb the pocket. He's going to be a pocket athlete. As he feels the pressure of the twist, he works out. He knows Dedmon's there. And what do? Get a punt return of the ball in space. And then, again, he's going to make people miss when there's any amount of space. Great execution. This is a great before the half. You always talk about, can I get points in the last 3 minutes? That's an outstanding. They've got the opportunity to get the ball also in the second half.
And I remember when you were coaching and interviewing you before a game, and when they have the star returner, you ask any coach, why don't you try to get him the ball more? And I know it's not that easy, but that's one good example, though. If you can get him in space, you can use him just on an occasion like that, the difference it could make.
Yeah, you're always trying to. The thing you fight is, does he know the protections well enough?
Right.
Does he? He's going to run his route at 13 yards when it's supposed to be 8 yards. So you have to get enough. Try to have 3 things he can do really well, and then put him in that situation. I know Dedmon loves every opportunity he gets to touch the ball, any way, shape, or form. So that's what you're always trying to do and fight the battle. What's good about this football team, though, is they get a lot of first downs. So if you do that and you get a ton of first downs, now you can, from week to week, put in more packages for special plays.
And I know, too, and every team faces that with a star returner. You have to keep them fresh for the returns as well. They certainly can't take regular reps. Javon Leake might be the outlier right now.
And if you're struggling, if you don't move the ball well, if you don't have a lot of first downs, like, you have other priorities. You have to get the ball to your tailback. The quarterback's going to get to the top 2 receivers.
And say this about Jeremiah Masoli: 12 for 15, 116, and that touchdown pass. Not perfect, but you consider what he has been through, and you know better than anyone, this is pretty impressive for Ottawa's starting quarterback tonight, as Logan takes a hit, and he keeps going, gets it up near the 40 on his kickoff return for Calgary with 26 seconds to go.
And I say this too, I can guarantee you every player in that locker room is playing very hard this week and doing everything in their power to play well for Jeremiah Masoli. Whether it's the O-line, the receivers, they want him to be successful. He's such a great leader in the meeting rooms. He's such a great leader around the facility. So I know this football team wants him to have success.
And you heard Farhan talk about it, that it extends beyond his team. Obviously, Calgary doesn't want that much success from him tonight.
Everybody else does. You're right. Calgary doesn't, but everybody else in the league.
And there's certainly the respect there for all he's been through. 25 seconds now. Deep look down the left for Jake Mayer, and the coverage is there. In fact, the closest to it was Damon Webb for Ottawa, the boundary half coming in. So that was intended for another guy's had a good first half, and that's Ish Hyman, their leading receiver in this first half, but a bit too far.
Yeah, with just over 20 seconds left, you put him as a single receiver to the side, but it's going to be a difficult throw because the Red Blacks had a player on the back hash. Jakes takes a shot right there. Just not a lot of space when they have a defender on the back hash and a cornerback over there.
So tried a deep shot late in this half. 20 seconds on the clock. Play clock down to 2 as they snap it on a 2nd and 10 from the 39. And that one just falls shy of Logan as the pressure was on Jake Mayer as he barely got that one away. So 3rd down coming up, 15 seconds on the clock.
So after this punt, you are, because you took 2 passes right here, you didn't run on the second one. If you take a shot, sometimes you would run on the second one to get the half out. If you don't here, now you're going to punt to Dedmon, a very dangerous returner, and if he gets a big return, you may have one opportunity for a field goal or for one play to get in field goal range. Sometimes you want to just run that out, make sure you go, all right, we're going to go, it's 21-16, I'm going to go in, instead of kicking to the returner.
That returner, Devontae Dedmon, said this is his 31st game and his first 30. 6 touchdowns in his CFL career on returns. He actually had another touchdown, as we just saw, as a receiver, as he caught that short pass and took it in. So another touchdown for Dedmon, but doing it a little differently that time. Short return.
5 seconds left, probably the victory offense, or maybe just a run to see if they can pop one for a big one.
Well, you know, I know it's just terminology, the victory offense, and we're far from that in this game, just heading to halftime. But so far, and I emphasize so far, from what we've seen of Jeremiah Masoli, just to come back and play again with all he's been through with the broken leg, the infection, the Achilles, a victory for him to get back and play football again, a game he loves. And it's been impressive to see. He
was nervous this week because he said, I got a really good football team around me. I got to make sure that I represent and help this team win a football game. He was nervous to play this game.
And the good football team around him, and that includes running back Rock Armstead, the performance he had in the first half.
Rock Armstead been pretty impressive. He runs downhill. He's got 7 carries for 86 yards. You know, he's really good inside the tackles, but what they've done a really nice job tonight, they've gotten some perimeter runs to allow him to get outside. You see that one right there, to create an opportunity for him to make you miss. It's very difficult when you're hitting teams up inside in the run game, and then you can also get your tailback.
Jeremiah Masoli.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you wanted from Jeremiah Masoli is a veteran player who can go on. Right now they're leading the turnover margin +1. He's made good decisions by checking the ball down. Some of those check downs led to either big first downs or a touchdown to Devontae Dedmon. So he's got to feel good on the road, what they're doing. And again, Calgary's offense, only 32 yards rushing at the tailback position. So they've done a good job of minimizing those gains. And I think that's where Calgary's going to start.
Oh my goodness, what a hit coming in to take down Devontae Dedmon. That's Malcolm Thompson, backup safety on special teams, and hitting Dedman hard, who is now limping off to the bench.
Yeah, Malcolm, he's talking to the coaches, he's one of the more physical football players they have. He's performed well. He's had opportunities to play this season at free safety. That's a great play, running in, stopping this really good return unit of the Red Blacks.
So Ottawa gets the ball to start the second half. They had won the toss and deferred. And Jeremiah Masoli is back out. The late touchdown pass, his first touchdown pass in over 2 years, and passing again there, something short for Jalen Hacklin. So, Coach, let's take another look at what Jeremiah Masoli was able to do, first time playing in a long time.
Seeing some of the deep play actions, he's got opportunities, seeing the coverage, but some of these easy throws, putting the ball in spots. Great throw on the sideline, and again, this pocket athlete being able to flip the ball to his players under space, and more importantly, protecting the football. Puts them in a position where they're at right now.
Short pass to Jalen Hacklin, picks up 3. Ottawa 29 and a 2nd and 7. Masoli under pressure, steps up, and he runs. First time Jeremiah Masoli deciding to run, and he does protect himself with the slide. He gets it up for a first down up around the Ottawa 40.
The 11-year veteran getting a big run. You see right here, there's a big space as they go into pass protection mode, drop everybody out. Jeremiah feels a little bit of pressure, way too much space, still showing, hey, I ran for a lot of yards at Oregon back in the day when I first came into the Canadian Football League.
He ran for a lot with the Hamilton Tiger Cats too. Part of his game back then, running, also scrambling to throw the football as well. And on that run, picks up a first down. There's the toss to Raquel Armstead. Speaking of running, he did a whole lot of it, and he still is. Another first down on the ground for Armstead, up around midfield for the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Just a little toss play to the outside. Keep balance. You want to have a back who's got great lower body strength and balance. Once again, they keep stretching the defense by tossing the ball, getting everybody to run. He's going to find a crease in the offense and then cut it back. But I love this kid's balance, his ability to spin off players, not get taken down by the first one. And again, this is what Ottawa does, gets a bunch of first downs. Here comes all different types of stuff.
Similar play in the first quarter, toss left that ended up going for a touchdown. Early movement by Josiah Coatney at Calgary. So Armstead had the ball, he backtracked and he got tripped up, but looking like a Stampeder offside. Coatney, number 74.
Offside, Calgary, number 74. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
The referee, Justin McInnes. Coatney, his first year with the Stampeders.
It doesn't happen a lot. 1st and 5 situation in the CFL for me, Rod. I was always going to run the ball on 1st and 5 because it's very seldom in the Canadian Football League you get 2 opportunities to run the football. So if I can get myself into a 2nd and 2, so I was always going to be 1st and 5 situation, 100% run.
Yeah, you called it. Let's see what they do. It is a run, a little toss inside and coming back. Little misdirection. Justin Hardy takes it, picks up a couple of yards. So yes, you're going to get your 2nd and short after that.
Yeah,
play.
that's why you like that. You know, you can get 3 or 4 yards and it's still a positive situation. You're going to be in 2nd and short. And this is what I talked about with Tommy Condell and this Red Blacks offense. They fake a speed sweep, they fake a toss, and then they flip it to a slot receiver. There's a lot of different things. He tries to eye distract you, and that's what the issues were last time Calgary played Ottawa.
So they pick up 2 on that to Hardy. Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator for the Red Blacks, 2nd and 3 now at the Calgary 49. Early in the second half, Red Blacks. Masoli, it's complete to Braylon Addison. And a late flag comes out as well as Addison is taken down at the 45. We talked about Jalen Hacklin going back to Masoli's Hamilton days. There's another one who connected very well back in those days in 18 and 19 with Jeremiah Masoli, Braylon Addison.
Legal contact, Calgary, number 43. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, it looked like Kenyon Reed here. As you're going to see right here, the number 2 receiver is basically going to get held up by Kenyon Reed. I think that's where Masoli wanted to go with the football. It's going to happen somewhere up here. Right there on the little double move to break outside, then back in. That's why Masoli had to go to the check down. good call by the officials.
Devontae Dedman is the running back right now for the Red Blacks, in beside Jeremiah Masoli. Calgary 39, 4 receivers to the right. On the move here. Masoli looks that way. Oh, in coverage, intended for Dominic Rhymes. And the safety, Bentley Sanders, was right there with him to knock it away. Incomplete, second down.
Bentley Sanders, really good vision, recognizing what play is going to happen. You're going to have clear outs, and then somebody's coming on a deep post behind. You're going to try to clear out the underneath, and then you're going to see the underneath throw. But watch, Bentley Sanders leaves the high player because he knows Dominic Rhymes are going to make a play on the football, forcing the second and long here.
Third target of Dominic Rhymes for Masoli, but still no catches for the veteran, number 15 of Ottawa. Second and 10 now. Masoli gets rid of it, and it's caught by Ackland. Dropped in there nicely by Jeremiah Masoli, who gets it down inside the 10. We've got another first and goal coming up for the Ottawa Red Blacks.
I love this play. Great throw by Masoli. This is a middle play. You're going to get vertical. He's going to come in, the linebacker's going to come take him, and then he's going to clear out to the middle of field. You know the safety's there. That's what you're doing, running under and then clearing up. The halfback runs out of the way, creates the space for Jalen Ackland on the middle play off a linebacker. Great throw and catch.
Fourth trip to the red zone for the Red Blacks. They've gone field goal, touchdown. What about this time? And first down for the Calgary 9. Brock Armstead, left side. Excuse me, Braylon Addison, the running back. Addison in on the carry, used occasionally as a running back, and takes that one down closer with a second and goal coming up.
Dino Boyd, Drew Desjardins, excuse me, Eric Stahl, they've done a really nice job against the defensive line of the Calgary Stampeders. You know, they're giving up 105 yards per game. The Stampeders 8th in the CFL. So, you know, establishing this run to rock has been excellent. Get it back to short yardage.
For Dustin Crum in short yardage. Touchdown Ottawa. And another touchdown for Crum, who played a lot last week after the injury to Brown. And this time, he comes in the short yardage. He picks up another one. That's his 6th rushing touchdown of the season.
Easy. Just get lower. This is a battle of who gets lower. Just got to stay off from the linebackers. Really good here by the Red Blacks. And this is what you want to do, Rod. You want to score before the half. You defer, get the ball. What do? Go down the field, get a touchdown.
Best case scenario for the Red Blacks there, Lapo. 10 plays, 84 yards in just over 5 minutes. That was the opening drive of the second half. And with Lewis Ward adding the point, the Red Blacks increased their lead at McMahon Stadium in Calgary, led by...
Jeremiah talked about being excited to get reps with this first team unit. They're getting the run game going. They're getting opportunities. Throws in the middle of the field. Just a good drive of mixing it up with the inside and outside runs, and certainly Masoli using his legs when he needed to, and a couple of key throws on that drive. You know, Jeremiah talked all week about, hey, you know, we space the field well. We know what we want to do against defenses on a week-to-week basis. I think we're evolving as an offense to make sure we can attack people very well downfield.
So now the Stampeders get the ball for the first time in the second half, and breaking through and taking a hit by James Peter. Peyton Logan does stay on his feet for a while longer, and good place to start for Jake Mayer and the Calgary Stampeders, now down 12.
11 of 16, 122 yards for Jake Mayer. A mixture of these short, quick passes on the perimeter, get the ball in his receiver's hands, and a couple of shots. Ishmael Hyman, beautiful throw and catch on the outside. A couple of underneath screen passes, Marquand Michel, and a nice throw to the sideline here. You know, no turnovers, no touchdowns either. They got to find a way to make sure they can get a couple of more explosive plays, whether that's short yardage, first down. Hardest part of this has been them on second and long. They've really struggled last game against the Red Blacks.
Well, Mayer could certainly air it out. Saw that 45-yarder to set up a touchdown to Hyman, and another one that was a pass interference that led to a short yardage TD for Calgary. But they're in a hole right now. Throwing to Kylan Hill. New running back throwing the short pass and taking off good yardage after the catch for Hill.
This is a screen pass, but it's got a little difference to it. Let me show something right before. They're going to crack on the linebacker. This is called a crack screen, where they're going to run in, try to go ahead, get a crack. The ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage. You get a kick-out block and a north-south run for Hill. Really good execution. Nice rhythm throw on 1st and 10. Get yourself good big game.
The former Red Black, Kylan Hill. The big play there for Calgary. Toss inside to Clark Barnes. And on that sweep, he gets it just inside the 50. And not much there for Barnes in his second year at the University of Guelph.
Coaches about Barnes. Over-under for how many words spoken, Rod? 4. 4 words spoken a week is what the coaches say. He doesn't say a lot, but they love him as a professional.
Does his talking on the field.
You say 4 words in 1 second in your job. All relevant stuff, though, Rod. It's amazing. Being with you play-by-play guys, the relevant stuff comes out of your mouth is amazing.
Yeah, most relevant in my sleep, probably. 4 words in the first minute.
If I did play-by-play, it would be like Division III football, 80s movies trivia, Marvel comic stuff,
give me
and
time.
some CFL stuff.
I know your trivia wheelhouse, but this game, you know, stays exciting. Then
for the fans at home, when we worked in studio years ago, we used to have people have Google, right? When they want to look something up, we didn't have Google. We had Roogle. We would just go, hey, Rod, what happened in 1974 between Ottawa and the Riders? And he would give, oh, yeah, that game was this or that. So Roogle was how we got our information at the panel level.
If you're teeing that up, and I don't want to venture into the 76 Grey Cup because Saskatchewan fans would be very upset with me, so we'll leave that one there. But I thank you for that lap. But we had a lot of fun in the studio as well. But that unfortunately, the 70s and everything, and music and movies and sports, that's my wheelhouse. Don't ask me about anything that happened after that decade. Not as good. 2nd and 10 at the Ottawa 49 for Calgary. They're down 28-16, 12-point difference. Jake Mayer steps up, tosses that, and he finds the guy who doesn't say a lot, according to you, Clark
Lets
Barnes,
his play talk on the field.
Letting it do some talking there with a big catch and a 1st down for Calgary.
Really good catch. You know, the biggest thing that makes this is there's plenty of time. Jake Mayer's got time to throw this football. Kenny Onyeka gets blocked, throws it. They got a crossing route in the middle of the zone, able to hit it. Nice high throw.
We were just talking to his old college coach, Ryan Sheehan, who's now the coach at the University of Calgary. We were talking to him at halftime, and just the different receivers, very good receivers that have come out of Guelph. Kean Schaefer-Baker and Barnes and Keandre Smith as well. From the Ottawa 33, quickly, and complete 2, and that's Reggie Begelton. A quieter game by his standards, certainly compared to the 100-yard-plus receiving yards game he had last week in Toronto, but that's another one that'll lead to a 1st down.
Once again, you're getting more RPO. Reggie Begelton's going to come in. They're going to block out with their offensive line. And if there's a space right there, they just throw it to that space. You see Reggie just finding space. Easy read for the quarterback, recognizing to just take that easy completion for a 1st down and 1st down.
There's Begelton. Ottawa 22. Blitz coming, gets rid of it, and into the end zone, but it falls. Well, the closest receiver was Barnes, but not close. So 2nd down coming up for the Stamps.
And that's one of those plays that Dave Dickinson talks about. When can we get some shot opportunities? Can I get an opportunity to take a shot play? Good protection. There was a little bit of a blitz, but it gives you an opportunity to take the ball and throw it to the end zone. Now the hard thing is converting this 2nd and 10.
Dave Dickinson, successful playing career, Hall of Famer, Grey Cup champion as a player and as a head coach as well. He took over from John Hufnagel in 2016. This is his 8th season as head coach, his 2nd as the general manager as well. Past the midway point of the 3rd quarter. Calgary needing points and pressing for them now. Running around trying to find a target is Mayer. And he ends up throwing it away. The closest is Frankie Griffin of Ottawa as it sails out of bounds. And it looks like we're going to see Rene Paredes, who we talked about earlier, one of the great kickers in history of the CFL, with another one tonight in Ottawa's Lewis Ward. And Sean White with BC playing Winnipeg this week has made 45 straight. But Paredes, who's just about as close to money in the bank as you can get, who missed his first one this season last week in Toronto, coming on to see if he can put 3 more on the board for the Stampeders.
And he really did talk about, I kick with, as Farhan talked about, I kick much less in practice. I don't need to kick as much, so I've kind of made sure I'm ready to go.
Expect anything else? Paredes puts it through. And they go from being 12 down to 9 points.
Addison had torn his ACL and his Achilles before Masoli did, so he gave him a lot of advice this time around. The biggest thing he said to him was to be patient.
Yes, folks, a man of many hats.
I was going to say, where did he get that hat from?
On Country Night here in Calgary, that's the second cowboy hat he's come up with. Wearing it well. So the Red Blacks, and taking it is Hardy in behind the line of scrimmage. He's back at the 35 now, so yeah, completed pass for -5, and a second and longer coming up now for Ottawa.
You know, for Braylon Addison, having that type of player as an offensive coordinator, whether it be Nick Dembski, Braylon Addison, some of these guys that have the ability, Mattel from Toronto, they've got the ability to, you can wreak havoc on a defense. If all you do is you move him from a slot into the backfield, to all of a sudden you have to change how you line up defensively. You love those type of players who can do multiple things.
2nd and 15 now. And flags out and the whistle blowing with the snap of the football there.
Procedure, Ottawa, number 64. 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
Well, they flagged the left tackle, Dino Boyd, on that one. But to finish your thought about Addison, Speedy Banks, back in that team that you faced in the Grey Cup when they won 15 games, Hamilton Tiger Cats. Mazzoli was hurt and couldn't play in that. It was Dane Evans. But Mazzoli knows very well that combination when they had Brandon Banks and Braylon Addison, both 1,000-yard receivers in that Hamilton team.
Tremendous group.
2nd and 20. A draw on that 2nd and long to Rock Armstead, who gets some of it back. He gets up across the 40. It's still a 3rd and long coming up here after a pickup of 11 more yards on the ground for Armstead, who has another hello moment there with Micah Awe.
So,
and it seems to,
flag.
you know, was Armstead able to draw one out of Micah Awe? It looked like such pleasant conversation too. Talking about where they might meet up after the game.
Micah's asking him, where do you live in Ottawa? I played for Ottawa for a couple of years.
Micah played in the Red Blacks for you, right?
Yes, yes. A lot of conversation going on.
So still sorting that out. This could be offsetting, and the jawing still goes too. And with Micah Awe, veteran, 7th year at Texas Tech, started with the BC Lions.
Can run, physical, can run, very physical
Hard hitter.
Player. Yep.
One of the hardest hitters in the game, Awe. And this is 2nd year with the Stampeders. And this discussion, this is a lengthy one. Expect some misconduct fouls coming up here as the officials discuss. Referee Justin McInnes.
And they're going to get it right, even if the command center's got to figure out which one it is, because 2 and you are eliminated from the game. The league a couple years ago said we want all this other stuff taken out of the game. So if you get 2 of these penalties, objectionable conducts, you're going to get thrown.
That can be costly too.
I mean, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, well, in Hamilton, Montreal last week, the left tackle, right tackle Jordan Murray got a 2nd one and had to be removed from the game. And we've seen it not only him, but a few.
This is going to be a big series, I think, for Calgary. Dave Dickinson talked about, hey, we got out physicaled in the 2nd half when our interviews with him against Ottawa.
After the play, we have a 15-yard UR misconduct against Calgary, number 73. It's going to be 1st down, Ottawa.
So that's Clarence Hicks, not Micah Awe, who was shown doing a lot of talking. So Hicks is the one getting the penalty for the Stampeders. And it's just Hicks, just one flag.
Just can't make these penalties and keep people on the field.
So a break for the Red Blacks as they'll move up 15 across midfield.
You know, you got them 2nd and 20, and you give up you give them a 1st down, one field goal, one 1st down away from field goal range. Just a terrible penalty.
Otherwise, they would have been punting. It would have been 3rd and long. Instead, they're in the Calgary zone, or 1st and 10. Stampeder 53.
Got him.
Deep look. Mazzoli for Ackland, who has it inside the 5. He is down. A flag is down as well. If this stands for Ottawa, and it doesn't look like it will, it would have been a 1st and goal, but it's coming back.
Offside, Ottawa, number 83. 5-yard penalty, will repeat 1st down.
So why you give a player a waggle is because you're going to take a shot play, and what the waggle is, you're going to start running. So you're going to have, he's going to be on the line of scrimmage to let him go downfield, and then you're going to get a double post. Jeremiah recognizes it, but you can see clearly Ackland's offsides. They do a little double move on the corner. You just got to be careful where you don't jump off sides. You're all angsty. You're going to get the ball. It's a throw to me. Just got to be careful.
1st and 15 now in that penalty. And quickly, just down and lost yardage there to Braylon Addison, but the crowd of Stampeders in the Ottawa backfield, so that play was going nowhere.
Mike Rose involved in that, a little bit of sprint, and I think get the ball to the possibly tailback on a screen. Puts them in again. That's 2 series in a row with a 2nd and extra. The loss of yardage just hurt them.
So still impressive overall for Mazzoli. Now 18 for 22. Should point out a couple of those completions were for lost yardage, but 154 in his passing yards and a touchdown to Devontae Dedman back in the 1st half. 2nd and 18 now. Another 2nd and long. With time. Throwing over the middle. Nearly caught by Rhymes. He's hit just as the ball's coming in. Couldn't hang on, and he is slow to get up.
Once again, they like having a big, tall receiver in the middle of field. You have people clear out, try to throw it over. Dozier does a nice job on that play. Good throw by Mazzoli. Just a little bit good coverage.
So instead, this time, Ottawa has to punt. Richie Leone. Back for Peyton Logan, the 15. Good coverage. The team that's been the top in coverage units in the Canadian Football League halfway through the season. The Red Blacks, the Stampeders, and Jake Mayer. Hey, so 1 stroke behind Chris Kirk, who leads the way at the FedEx. Watch it on TSN Plus tomorrow. Back here at McMahon Stadium, Rod Smith, Paul LaPolice, Farhan Lalji. The Stampeders have the ball. They trailed by 9. Last time they moved down and they got a field goal. Late 3rd quarter. 2.5 on the clock. Kylan Hill, the new Stampeder running back, gets it in across the 20 before he's met by a crowd, and a late flag comes out. The rookie right guard, Christy Nakanu, bumped a REDBLACKS player. He was taking exception to the fact that they had Hill wrapped up after the whistle had gone, and then you see after Nkanu, one of their top picks in 2024, the flags come out.
Just can't do that. You got a good 5-yard, 6-yard game. Really good run by Kylan Hill. Makes somebody miss in the hole. Right here, boom, makes him miss, gets good yardage. All this stuff after the play, you just can't do.
And that was Christy Nakanu in his 1st year to Washington State, taken in the Canadian draft in the 1st round, 8th overall, but flagged there as he knocked down Javon Santos.
After the play, we have a 15-yard misconduct penalty against Calgary, number 65. Half the distance to the goal, 2nd down.
If he gets a 2nd one of those, he's out of the game, and they only have 1 backup offensive lineman, so you don't want to get another one.
That would be the veteran Kyle Saxlett, backup for Calgary. But Nkanu, Stampeders very high on him and drafting him and starting, right away in his rookie season. And Dave Dickinson upset, thinks Javon Santos Knox kind of did a little bit of acting.
You can't hit a guy in the head.
No.
You can't. It's going to be called.
4-man rush there with time, completes it to, that's Begelton up across the 20, so getting a good chunk of it back after that penalty to Nkanu, up across the 20, and a 2nd down coming up here for Calgary.
Bagleton is their first down throw. He's got 15 second down conversions, most on this football team. Hey, I'm going to run up to 15 yards, turn around, throw me the football. Sometimes it's as simple as that. All right, throw it to your best player, put yourself in a position. Easy read, throw it to a guy who's going to catch it and get the first down.
One of the great receivers in the history of the Calgary Stampeders, and they've had some great receivers over their history. Reggie Bagleton.
61 games in a row with a catch rod, which is pretty amazing. Puts him 6 all-time for the Stampeders.
Keeps moving on up in that department as well. Over 1,000 yards receiving last year. First and 10, the 24, back to Hill, and he spins and he keeps going, and a good run by Kylan Hill.
Nice double team at the point of attack. Let me show you this. They're going to get a really good push on the first level. They're going to block out, and then he's going to hit it right in that space. Excellent job. Good hard run.
Gets about 8 or 9 yards. It's a second and short coming up. Hill and his.
Good for the Red Blacks personnel department, having both Rock Armstead and Kylan Hill in training camp for the Red Blacks.
So Tommy Stevens in at second and short, and no problem that time. Pushes it up past the first down marker to the 35, so the sticks do move again.
They need one big play, Rod, or so. They got to flip this field. You know, they just haven't had great field position here. They got to do their best to. Can they get something to flip the field and put them in a better field position?
Well, it could have been a lot worse after the penalty when they got pushed way back. They've done a good job buying themselves some space up to the 35 and a first down now on the final play of the third quarter. Jake Nair faking it to Logan, throwing it off, but that's going nowhere. Jalen Philpott with it, and he's taken down for a loss. Damon Webb is there to greet him. It should be the end of the third. So sad to report the CFL's mourning the loss of a legendary offensive line coach, Dan D'Orazio, whose passing was announced by the BC Lions yesterday. Dan started his CFL career here in Calgary back in 1998. And he spent 5 seasons with the Stampeders before moving with Wally Buono to BC, where he spent much of the remainder of his career with the Lions. And Dan's guidance produced so many All-Stars wherever he went. And he had a hand in 4 Grey Cup titles, 2 here, 2 more with BC. Our deepest condolences to Dan's wife, Lisa, his family, and everyone in the CFL community whose lives were touched by Coach Dan D'Orazio. Got that lead to 9 points, and they have the football right now. But more importantly, as we told you before, it is country night here at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. And Lapo, you know, he wore it from Toronto when he flew in, had that orange hat on the whole time, from Ottawa, actually, and you're just not taking that thing off, are you?
I can't take it off. I can't put my headphones on, so I got to talk like this. But, hey, I thought the Red Blacks done a really good job of preventing the big plays the rest of the game. You know, they gave up the big plays early in the game, but they've really settled down and not put up a lot of big plays. So that's what Calgary's got to find a way so they can flip the field. Can they do that? Can they get that explosive play that's going to lead to more touchdown scoring? But
you got to find a way to wear your headset.
I know.
With the cowboy hat.
Working on it. Trying to get there. And I'll say this about this Red Blacks defense. Last year, they were the worst in the Canadian Football League in big plays given up. Over 52 of them this season. Second best in the Canadian Football League of giving up big plays.
Stampeders lost in Toronto last week. They won against the Argos the week before. They're trying to get back in the win column tonight, but they trail to start the fourth, and a pass there with good coverage by Elijah McGee on Clark Barnes. He was right with him, and he knocks that one away.
Yeah, I would call a vertical stretch. You read the deep player. This is the guy who's taking off the top of coverage. If McGee's too low, quarterback, take the shot, take the one-on-one like they're trying to get, the big play. Just thrown a little far inside. McGee makes a nice play. Had a great interception last week, McGee. And, you know, he got injured in training camp. He was the player they wanted to start the season with at corner. He's done a really nice job for them. Now they got him and Dandridge.
Joined the Red Blacks last year, played a couple of games, and yeah, pegged to start. Had to go in the 6th game to start the season. So this is game 2 for him. There's Devontae Dedmon. Breaks one tackle, breaks another, but no, the first tackle that he broke, and that player, Ben LeBras, ends up coming back and taking Dedmon down. Well, this is just the start of week 11. Interesting tomorrow as well. Saskatchewan Roughriders, and they meet the Montreal Alouettes again. Davis Alexander. Trevor Harris, been injured and out a long time, with Shea Patterson taking his place, and we'd wondered too about Cody Fajardo. But the second meeting between the Riders and the Alouettes, and it was in that game a few weeks ago in Montreal, was 16-3 Saskatchewan at the half, and Alexander replaced Caleb Evans and really took off and led them to victory in a close one over the Riders. So they meet again. Ottawa 30. 1st and 10. Jeremiah Masoli. A deep look over the middle, and no. Jalen Ackland's there. So was Braylon Addison, as it kind of falls between them. 2nd down.
Once a quarter, you're going to take a shot. Some of these shots are going to come more on 1st down because you should get closer. They got a bunch of tight ends in. They got a lot of people around the line of scrimmage. They have a tight end on the backside. They also have an extra blocker. So you're trying to get a shot in the middle of the field. Get the safety to bite up and throw it just a little bit. Houston makes a good play on it. They love play actions and take shots.
Masoli 18 of 24. 154. His first action in a long time, throwing again and completing it 2. That is Ackland again, but he is wrestled down by Cameron Judge, the weak side linebacker, and gets him down shy of a 1st down. So the punting unit will be back on for the Red Blacks.
Really good stop. You know, even 1 more yard, you get your wedge team out there, but really good stop. Cameron Judge walking out. Jeremiah takes the throw, the open throw underneath. Tackle made by Cameron Judge. Tough to do when the width of the field in this space.
Originally drafted by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. That time in Toronto too, has really found a home here in Calgary.
Yeah, he loves his defense. He loves how they move him around. Sometimes he plays to the field. They move him all around. They use him in the front. He's enjoyed being in this system with Brent Munson.
From the 25, Corleone gets this one away for Logan, but it bounces far before him and takes a roll back as well. So a Calgary hop on that one. There's Cameron Judge, the 7th year at a UCLA, the Canadian. The big play there on Jalen Ackland. Down you go, shy of a 1st down. From the wildfires, something that has plagued Western Canada a good chunk of the summer, but nice to see a nice night for football here in Calgary. 4th quarter, Stampeders are down, and right out of the gate, that's Ish Hyman. It would have a good first half, and he has that catch and a 1st down right across midfield for Calgary.
A free access throw. What's free access? You can run to 6 to 7 yards, turn around, catch the ball. So nice, easy. You throw it to the boundary because it's the softest and shortest throw. Give it to him so he can turn upfield and create a 1st down. Nice throw. Nice throw and catch.
Just the 3rd game as a Stampeder for Ish Hyman. 1st year at a James Madison. A couple of big plays in the 1st half. Led to Calgary touchdowns. Now a deep look to the left. Bingleton's got it. Falls down inside the 10, is touched inside the 5. We got a 1st and goal for the Stampeders. Looking to close that gap now. Down by 9 early 4th quarter.
Deep corner route with play action. Run people out of the way. Put the halfback in a bind. Beautiful move. Throw and catch. This is what you call a throwback corner. You start running across the field. You make them think you're running across the field, and then you break back across the corner. It's a deadly route for teams in playing man coverage to defend.
Never sleep on Bingleton. A 50-yard gain sets them up for this. Mayer, Kylan Hill. He gets it down to about the 2, maybe even the 1. 2nd and goal coming up here for Calgary.
Frankie Griffin, nice tackle there.
And Reggie Begelton has gone over 5,000 yards for his career on that 50-yard reception. Number 3 for active players, but what a career. 84. Stampeders had over 100 yards receiving last week in Toronto, and a slow start to this game, but you get a 50-yarder. He has 4 catches for 92 yards now all of a sudden. 2nd and goal. Tommy Stevens. Touchdown number 3 for number 15. The Stampeders short yardage specialist. And he gets it done again. And we got a game. Down to 3 pending the extra point. Q, quick 6.
Bunch of these short yardage touchdowns today. What do? The wider you go, the more smaller defenders are going to be there. That's why you like to do these wider quarterback sneaks. You're going to go at defensive backs instead of defensive linemen. We talked about big plays, Rod. You're 5 times more likely to score a touchdown when a drive has a big play. So that's what they needed. Great throw by Begelton, great catch by Begelton, great throw by Jake, and that gets what you need. Flip the field with a touchdown.
Tommy Stevens has all 3 of the Calgary touchdowns, all from short yardage, all set up as you talked about by big plays. The pass interference, the big one to Hyman, and then that 50-yarder to Begelton. And Stevens caps it off. 4 plays, 65 yards, made possible with this one. To one of the great Stampeder receivers of all time, Q. Tommy Stevens. 2-point game here in Calgary.
Tommy Stevens off the edge for the touchdown. Not sure what's going on right here, Rod, though. Celebrates, he points. I'm going to throw you the ball. Watch this. Where's it go? Holy cow, he didn't hit anybody. He didn't hit the Calgary guys. I don't know if the Olympic people are up there. If you want to throw the ball more, you got to be a little bit more accurate when you throw into the end zone.
Maybe that was deliberate. He's going to throw it to a neutral spot, and then you guys figure it out. Yeah. Calgary Dinos are in that area. There's Devontae Dedmon running across to take that kick at the 10. Coverage coming down. Gillon Thomas. What a great open field tackle by Thomas to limit the damage by Dedmon, who can only get it out to about the 15. So Ottawa's going to start deep in their zone.
We've been talking about the kickers. Rene Paredes. He also kicks off, right, and creates this. This is a great tackle by Thomas. One of the things they don't give Paredes enough credit for is he's also the kickoff person, as well as the great field goal kicker he is. Great play, Thomas.
Gillon Thomas, defensive lineman and doing his work on teams as well. Second year with the Okanagan Sun. The toss. Armstead had a very good night on the ground, and this will be a 2nd and long coming up here for the REDBLACKS, though.
As they're trying to stretch the ball out again, a little bit better contained by the Calgary Stamps defense. Force a 2nd and long here.
A game within a field goal. With 2 great field goal kickers playing in this game. 28-26, Ottawa with the ball, but Calgary's been coming on. Bull rush there by Mike Rose, chasing him down. Hicks chasing him down. Masoli runs. Haven't seen him run a lot, but we've seen him run effectively, and he does there as well to pick up the REDBLACKS first down. This
is why having 1, a veteran quarterback, and 2, a mobile quarterback. One of the first times we've seen all night this coverage, which is basically man coverage with 2 deep safeties. They lose contain. Masoli recognizes that coverage. Nobody's accounted for the quarterback. He scrambles for the first down. Easy recognition by him and just says, hey, I'm going to go take it. Nobody's watching me. I'm going to go make the play for the first down.
Just the 2nd carry for Masoli, but they've been effective. 2 carries, 17 yards. And that one picking up the first across the 25. He is throwing. He dumps it down there to Rock Armstead. Lets Rock do the rest as he spins and ends up with a good pickup. It'll be a 2nd and short coming up here for Ottawa.
Play action screens. REDBLACKS do these a lot. They fake action one way, fake action another way, and then they get the ball to the tailback, trying to get people to lift. But these are great calls on 1st and 10 because you should get decent yardage. puts you in a position to, puts you in a really good position to get second and short.
To my imagination, or does Rock do a lot of talking too?
He talks a little bit. Yeah, he could be a play-by-play guy, Rock. Let's keep an eye on him.
I think he's doing just fine down on the field. And handing off. He's done a lot of talking with his running, that's for sure, on this night. It never seems to be enough, though, as he this time quietly heads back. Slap on the helmet there for Masoli. Well, he drew a penalty earlier tonight. Misconduct foul, but remember 2 weeks ago, he had a couple, and he didn't end up playing even the first half. But look at the night he's had. 15 touches, 120 yards on the ground, 30 yards receiving, and a touchdown, too, back in the first quarter. Great night for Reichwell Armstead. Midway through fourth quarter, Ottawa nursing a 2-point lead. Down goes Masoli. The Stampeders finally get to him. That's the first sack of Jeremiah Masoli by Calgary in this game.
Got some extra guys coming off the edge up top. You'll see they're overloading that side of the protection, so they're bringing 3 people. There's 1 free. Can't be in a position to make the block. Really nice play. Excellent pressure off the edge. Kenyon Reed bringing the field half back off the edge.
Kenyon Reed with the sack for Calgary. His first CFL sack. 2nd and 19 at the Ottawa 30. Masoli getting them again. It's Mike Rose. Back-to-back sacks. Calgary, as they keep pushing Ottawa back now. And the REDBLACKS are going to have to kick it away. 4th sack of the season for the veteran tackle Mike Rose.
Right here, he's going to go into this front side. It's called the A gap, and he's going to beat, both the guard and the center. Gets a little bit of help from the wide defensive end. Dave Dixon talked about this. We weren't very physical in the first game. In the second half, defense is doing their part to play physical in this half.
Boy, Stampeder defense rising up. 34th career sack for Mike Rose, and that thing takes a hop on Peyton Logan and bobbles a bit, and is lucky just to pick it up and get a couple of yards with the REDBLACKS bearing down just shy of the Calgary 40. Mike Rose, one of the top defensive tackles in the CFL the past few seasons, demonstrating why yet again from the interior, pushing right in, taking Masoli down. Calgary down only 2 points. A real staple last couple of seasons for the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, just his ability to, like, the thing the coaches talk about with him all the time is he recognizes, you always talk about receivers that are time and space guys, Rod. He's at the, you got to be where the quarterback needs you at the right time. You got to be able to sit in the zones when they're open. You be able to run into those spots. He does it as good as anybody they've had here in a long time.
Over 5,000 for his career. Reggie Begelton, Calgary ball. And then coming back and taking that's Ish Hyman with the catch.
These easy throws, he's used in the run game a lot as the innermost receiver, because he can sit down in these quick zones when they're doing run plays. And again, he can take the shot play. This is that throwback corner route for a huge gain. So and again, I talked about earlier on the broadcast, when they need a first down, he's the guy to go to.
And when they need a first down here in a short yardage situation. Now Ottawa says they have the ball. Clark Barnes finally taking down the REDBLACKS player who came up with it. That's Aiden John. The whistle not blown on a short yardage play when it looked like Calgary had the first down.
The previous play is being reviewed by command center.
So obviously the command center is going to take a look and see whether Tommy Stevens was down or not. And as we talked about, the command center is doing their best to make sure they don't blow whistles too early.
We saw Michael Wakefield ripping the ball out when it looked like Stevens was down. They thinking that he was lying on top of teammates. And so Dave Dickinson, who had a lot of frustrations at what was going on with the calls last week.
Yeah, last week, Cameron Judge.
Yeah.
You know, Cameron Judge had a fumble recovery that he started to run back. Could have been a touchdown. You know, there was an early whistle. That early whistle created a stoppage in play, so they got the ball, but they didn't get the return.
Now, the Red Blacks arguing that Stevens never actually was on the turf, but on top of teammates. When it's like he does look lying down, and it's punched out by Michael Wakefield into the hands of Aiden John. They let it play out, and they're reviewing it now.
After review, forward progress was stopped before the ball came out. It'll be first down, Calgary.
I like that call.
Yeah.
Forward progress. He's down. It's the end of the play. Sooner or later, you have to stop the. You know, sooner or later, you can't. If you don't blow a whistle at one point, or if you don't say forward progress, people are going to keep hitting the quarterback.
Timer,
So
please
you
put
have
4
to,
minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
sooner or later,
Thank you.
call it when he's advanced to that space.
And sometimes, in fairness, you can have a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation for command center when if you blow, or if the officials, if it's blown too early, indicates it what could have been a big play. They're throwing it off. Kylan Hill, midfield, and a good pickup as he ventures into Ottawa territory now in a 2-point game, heading down to 4 minutes left in this fourth quarter.
But the beauty of what they've been doing, quick throws, get the ball in the perimeter, get Kylan Hill the ball in space, make some blocks for him. You saw quick early throws. You see throws to Bagleton, to Hyman on a screen to start this drive. So they're putting themselves in second and short. Really manageable position to get first downs.
Kylan Hill, he has 8 carries for 35 yards, but he also has 3 receptions as well. A couple of them for 23.
Ronnie's the throw.
That's complete. And that's new fullback, Ron Tiavasu.
Yeah, first year player from New Mexico.
Timeout, Ottawa.
You know what happens sometimes when you're a first-year fullback? When people play man coverage, they don't cover you. So everybody was in man coverage. Nobody covered him. I think it's because of his face mask, Rod. Look at the size of that face mask. So he leaks out as the protection starts to break down. Throw it out to him in the flat.
Ron Tiavasua, Glabo mentioned, first year out of New Mexico State. Big fullback, enjoying his chance to get a touch. And a first down and 10 at the Ottawa 43. Play action fake right in there. Right away is Michael Wakefield, even off the play fake. No time at all for Jake Mayer, who is sacked.
That's a difficult sack to take you. That backs up you out in a field goal position. It's going to happen right on the inside here. Okay, just basically Nakanu moving inside. He puts himself in a position where he gets beat to the outside.
Is that mocking Reggie Bagleton? Little fishing move, reeling it in. Wakefield just reeled in his 4th quarterback sack of the season, and it's 2nd and 18. And to your point now, it looked like good field goal position for Calgary in a 2-point game. Trying to get some yardage back here, Jalen Philpott, and pushing down closer towards the 40. This will be around 41 to 42 with the furthest advancement. So looks like field goal country now coming up here for
great situational football. They get a ball out quickly, north-south, put themselves in position for a field goal.
So they do get it closer after the loss on the sack. Field goal range, Rene Paredes with the Stampeders. 3 minutes to go, trailing by 2. Ottawa leads. Kickers are in the focus, and we've talked about them. 2 of the best in the business in this game tonight. Rene Paredes, Louis Ward as Paredes is about to try one to put Calgary ahead.
Yeah, he talked about his pregame warm-up. He's so much better a pre-kick warm-up. He makes a kick every first down, every second down, and then he prepares, goes out, makes one more shot. And he's got a better mental focus than he did when he was a younger kicker. It's one of the questions we asked him the other day.
He's only had 1 miss. 24 at 25 in the season, longest 52, 4 for 4, 50 plus, but this one's less than that. Inside the 50, heading left, but it is good. Money again, Rene Paredes. And the Calgary Stampeders at 1 point, 12 points down, have now taken a 1 point lead.
Great shot.
In terms of field goal percentage, 2 of the top 3 in the game today and all time are playing this one tonight. Lewis Ward, Sean White leading both of them right now, the BC Lions. But you look at walk-off. Now, this is far from a walk-off, of course, but what Paredes has done in the clutch, that's more than any active kicker with 11. Sean White is next with 7. Lewis Ward just got his first 2 this season so far.
Yeah, and the kickers, the way the kicking game's going so this year, such good punting, such field goal kicking. There's so many different things that have factored in. One of the biggest thing is, I believe, the league and their global initiative, because nobody's doing 3 jobs anymore. Nobody's doing 2 jobs, kicking and punting. You've got guys who are dedicated just to kicking, dedicated just to punting. And another one, here's a quiet one. The punters are all the holders for all the kickers in the Canadian Football League. Plenty of time to practice what they're doing.
So Paredes kicks it off from the 30. By the way, that's the 5th lead change in this game. Ottawa trailing by 1. Still plenty of time. Darius Pickett on the kick return. He's often back there. Usually Dedman gets it. But Pickett has the return. Ottawa football, still a ton of time, especially in a game this close. 2:17 on the clock.
St. Cyr avoids, runs, chases, brings Pickett down. Really nice tackle by Kalen St. Cyr.
First year to the Montreal Catavan program. Firing up the crowd here at McMahon. They're on their feet. Their defense back on. That defense was great last time out. Had a couple of sacks. Pressure's coming. Mazzoli gets rid of it. It is complete to Rock Armstead, who gets it up out of bounds. Get about half of what they need, and a second down coming up here for the Red Blacks.
Is it Shark Week, Rod? Is it Shark Week? There's just a shark. Calgary Stampeders blitzing players from the wide side of the field, which you call a shark blitz, which is the Sam and the halfback coming. I love the recognition by Jeremiah. Throw away from it, get the easy throw into the boundary.
But to answer your original question, it was Shark Week. Wayne Ford loves to read those promos, by the way, but it's come and gone. 2nd and 5, Ottawa 36. More time, Mazzoli. He does complete it. First down and more. Braylon Addison had the first down, did a great job of keeping his feet, and he's finally wrestled down by Bentley Sanders up across midfield. First down for the Red Blacks.
So you always get deeper throws, and you get sometimes crossing routes. But when you get some of the crossing routes, you get people lose sight of the 2 crossers. That's what happens. The crossers, nobody takes them.
Deflected at the line of scrimmage, and it falls incomplete.
A little bit of tempo here by the Red Blacks, trying to get a quick play, trying to get position to get closer for their field goal. But I love what Jeremiah did there, recognizing the crossing routes, take that short underneath throw. It's difficult about dropping everybody out, and if you don't get a pass rush, you got a veteran quarterback who can find the holes.
Red Blacks need about 10 more yards to start thinking about Lewis Ward. And a 2nd and 10 from the 53. It is caught. Dominic Rhymes had a number of targets. He finally does have his first catch of this game. And it gets it down at an interesting point on this field with a 3rd down and a couple of yards coming up. They're right around the 45. You'd be talking about 52 yards for Lewis Ward.
Career high 56 for him. Not a lot of wind here. It looks like with only 3 yards to go, the Red Blacks going to try to put it on their offensive line. Let's see if they can get this.
What a big 3rd down this is. Ward on a 3rd and 3 stays on the sideline. 3rd down. Mazzoli in shotgun. To the right. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. Calgary takes over with a 1-point lead with 1:24 on the clock in the 4th quarter.
A little bit of a tip at the line of scrimmage, I believe, by Rose. Demario Houston, really good coverage over Ackland. Again, as you pass rush, if you can't get there, throw your hands up, try to distort the ball. Houston all over Ackland. Big meaty paw getting up there, trying to make a play. Great stop by the Stampeders.
Well, it would have been about a 52-yard try for Lewis Ward. Instead, they go for it on third and certainly more than two, and it goes incomplete. So the turnover on downs from Kylan Hill, and he is met right by Cleon Lang after about a yard or two. Second and long coming up, and a big second down now
Ottawa.
for the Ottawa Redblacks, who take the timeout. 1:19 on the clock and desperately needing to get the ball back.
Good to see. Cleon Lang is really good on the inside. Really nice stop by Cleon there. So now you got to get this first down, right? So you have to throw the football. You have to make sure there's too much time left on the clock here. You're not just going to try to run the ball down. You got to find a pass play, get the first down, keep running the football.
What has been, for the most part, a close game. The Redblacks did have a second half burst where they opened things up to 12, but mostly within a score, and a lot of back and forth with these offenses with some big plays for Calgary. Big play now would be for Ottawa as it's tossed, but it really makes no difference. Tossed ahead to Hill, and flags do come out. After that is caught by Kylan Hill, which would be for lost yardage.
Holding Calgary, number 54. That penalty is declined. Third down.
Here. With that on Kenny Onyeka. They held Kenny Onyeka on the speed rush on the outside. What did the Redblacks do? Did they play coverage or they pressured? They brought a pressure, brought people off the edges, dropped some people out. Kenny Onyeka with the speed rush. Carlton product contributing to the stop.
So they have Devontae Dedmon, certainly a returner who could bust open a big play. So a good stand for the Ottawa defense when they needed it most. 1:13 on the clock as Cody Gray stands back at around his 25. The Redblacks could get a reprieve here after failing to get the first down on that third down gamble.
This has been Ottawa's MO. Last week against Saskatchewan, they did drive the length of the field to kick a field goal to take it overtime. Early in the year against the Edmonton Elks, they were able to complete 2 passes, put themselves in position.
And at home against Hamilton.
And at home against Hamilton, yes. So they've found a way to win games at the end.
Dedmon, 20, 25 with the 26 as he is out of bounds. 48 seconds on the clock. Jeremiah Masoli, who only had 16 plays in Hamilton a year ago in his first game in a year, and then the ruptured Achilles ended his season after just that. His first action since that, over a year ago, over 13 months ago. So for a touchdown in this game, there's Lewis Ward. Will it come down to his foot again? Lapo was talking about, he has 2 walk-off winners. 48 seconds, a 1-point game. Calgary leading. Stamps fans urging them to hang on. What does Mazzoli have in store? They need to drive into field goal range. Quickly to the right. It is caught by Ackland, who is pushed out by Demario Houston.
Sure-handed receiver. Ackland just throwed it. Let him drop into coverage, throw it underneath to get yourself to second and medium. Good catch by Ackland. Be interesting, are they going to spy Jeremiah Masoli? He's heard him with the running, using his legs. How are they going to play defense against him the next couple of plays?
Pick up 6, second and 4, the Ottawa 32. Masoli and the Redblacks. With time. The pass, it's caught. Bobbled. Houston was right there with Ackland as it got bobbled, and Ackland alertly grabbed it, and a big first down for the Redblacks up across their 50.
Unbelievable catch here. Takes it off Houston. Amazing play. The Redblacks going tempo here. Trying to get in better position for the field goal. Great catch.
About 15 more yards for Lewis Ward to try it. That one shy of Jalen Ackland. We got a flag coming out here too against the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
Holding, Ottawa, number 68. 10-yard penalty. Will repeat first down.
I love it. I love my time with Jalen Ackland. I loved his competitiveness, his big play ability. That's just an incredible. Takes it off. Look at Houston right there. Houston's like, what is going on? I was there for the interception. I just couldn't make it. At least it should have been a knockdown, but then Jalen Ackland steals it away.
Those two have had something going the whole game. A lot of talk. 1st and 20. It's getting late. It's complete. Taking off and getting back up to about the 50 is Rock Armstead, but 16 seconds left, and realistically they need at least 15 more yards to have a shot.
It's a good call by Jeremiah. Give them an opportunity to get, if they don't get that first completion, they're not going to be in a position here to get close to field goal range.
Will Lewis Ward get a shot? 10 seconds. Pump fake. Mazzoli running around. Needs to complete one. Further down, he does! Braylon Addison has it. Addison and out of bounds around the 45. So it's possible for the REDBLACKS. Just inside the 45. And we'd be looking at something around 51 yards.
Command center is looking at if there's time on the clock.
But is there time left, or did it run out in Ottawa?
Amazing. Break contain, find somebody. Sooner or later, the coverage is going to break down, so it's hard to break contain with a veteran quarterback like that.
Please reset the clock to 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Stamps fans don't like it. Think the time ran out. 2 seconds put back on the clock. And it all comes down to this. For Bob Dice and the REDBLACKS, was it enough? On a night we talked about two great kickers, Rene Paredes and Lewis Ward, this game comes down to the foot of Lewis Ward, who has 2 walk-off winners this season. The only 2 of his career, looking to make it 3 from 51 yards, and they don't get it off.
Timeout, Calgary.
As the Stampeders call the timeout and see if they can ice Ward a little bit before another clutch field goal try.
Why that's icing, people do stats and realize, hey, if you call a timeout while he's in your movement, the odds are kickers usually, after a kick, will miss the second kick after a timeout. That's why you go ahead and use it if you have your timeout, trying to freeze that kicker. But this would be, yeah, he hasn't had a walk-off in his career. He's already got 2. This could be great.
He's got 2 for the win, Lapo, and last week against the Riders, he had a walk-off tie.
Yeah.
With a kick on the last play in overtime. Here we go. Stamps have had their timeout. 51-yard try for Ottawa's Lewis Ward for the win. Out, down, kicked, and good. Lewis Ward does it again. Just tucked it in the left upright. And the Ottawa REDBLACKS find another dramatic ending and a way to win here in Calgary. What an ending at McMahon.
Lewis Ward comes through again. You know, Lewis talked about the resiliency of this team in our interviews this week. Is like, we've been in so many situations this year where we've overcome, whether it's depth, we've had enough depth at certain position, and obviously making the walk-off kicks to win the football games. Rod, I go all the way back to week 2 against Winnipeg. 1st and goal for the 7. Winnipeg has it. What does the REDBLACKS defense do? They stop them 3 plays in a row. That's what started this team just starting to win the close games. And it's contagious. They've had great focus coming off the balls.
A victory for Ottawa and a victory for Jeremiah Mazzoli in a start for the first time since he was with Hamilton in 2019.